Hey guys, welcome to A Conscious Time. Mark Devo here, and welcome to this video on value yourself and the world will follow. So I've actually adapted this from while I'm looking down. I've actually got my computer here because I've adapted this video from a blog that I wrote. It was inspired by a family member recently that went through a situation, and it sparked this vlog and blog. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope it adds value. I'll try and keep this a little bit upbeat because I did look at one or two of my videos before. My last one was okay. My one before that was a little bit, it seemed a little bit somber. I feel very upbeat and very joyous, if I can say that. But I think I was born with a serious face. Some people have actually said to me, geez, smile. I'm like, I actually feel quite fine and happy. So anyway, maybe it's also confidence in the camera. Who knows? I don't know. I'll get better as we go along. I've got a little different panoramic here. I'll probably change it around in this space that I do my videos. I thought I'd incorporate a little Christmas present from the parents-in-law, our little froggy feature here, water feature, and it ends up getting some of my kids' toys in there, which is quite cool as well. Anyway, I hope it doesn't make too much noise. So let's crack on. So for those of you new to the channel, you can see on my YouTube channel, it's got awareness there. I'm passionate, and it's been a lifelong journey of that word awareness just really following me along, if I can say that. And I truly believe awareness is it's almost everything in life and how you navigate through life. Because if you don't have a certain amount of awareness, you can't really navigate effectively, if I could say that. There's no judgment in that, but just becoming aware can, at least you can start seeing things in its true light or a different light. If you don't have that awareness, certain things will come into your life, and if you don't have, say, a bird's eye view is a good example. Bird's eye view is a nice example of awareness. You can then gauge or see that information a little bit clearly or clearer. While listening to me, this has been kind of a lifelong journey of various books and etc., studies and certifications, courses, blah blah blah. Experience is the most key thing. Don't forget that, and you are the key figure to having that experience. So let's crack on. Value yourself, and the world will follow. So hopefully I don't repeat certain concepts, because I'm going to obviously be reading, and hopefully my mind doesn't get ahead. So let's jump in. So as mentioned, this was sparked by, or if I haven't mentioned, this was sparked by a very close family member. I'm not going to use any names or specifics, but she's a very close member who I love very much, and this is how I read the situation, and I hope that why I'm bringing this up and why I write about this, why I'm doing videos, I just think it's quite a interesting lesson for all of us to remember and to learn. So hopefully this adds great value. And it always makes me think of Neville Goddard. I do seem to think of this quote or saying. I've listened to a lot of Neville Goddard's lectures through Josiah Brandt on YouTube. He does a beautiful job of narrating his lectures. So I'll put a link in the description or one of the videos at the bottom after this. And the statement or the quote goes, we are perfectly expressing ourselves either consciously or subconsciously. Okay, so on a deep level, this is a quote, and he's talking about God, source, consciousness, call it him, her, whatever you want. God is expressing itself, himself, herself, always and through you, and it's then either through conscious or subconsciously. So let's unpack that a little bit. So with that in mind, it is down to how conscious we are of realizing this, the power that we have, and that God is expressing himself through us. It's a whole different chat on that, but the point is that you will express yourself either consciously, how you live, through choices relative to your awareness, or you will express yourself subconsciously. And we all express ourselves with a mix of the two. Actually, it's not really a mix, because apparently it's 95% subconscious, 5% conscious. So we effectively are run by our subconscious programs, which we have learned from young. And hopefully a lot of for a lot of us, these subconscious patterns have been beneficial. For a lot of us, they haven't been beneficial, and they've actually been very detrimental. That's another talk altogether as well. So there's no judgment in that as well. But the power of that is that we have, through awareness, we have the conscious ability to now change those subconscious patterns, which is not always easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. Okay. So, but like I said, we first have to become aware. So my point is that we are creating the world we live, whether we are conscious of it or not. So everything we are creating is through conscious or subconscious patterns. So the key is to obviously become conscious and aware. Okay, but mostly we are always looking outward and blaming the world, where we haven't looked inward to see where the cause is, which made me think of a quote by Carl Jung: your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Okay, and we can go down all sorts of spiritual rabbit holes, but I want to keep it quite pragmatic as well, real world that we can apply in everyday lives. That's the key. So with that as the backdrop, and to this close person, who's an amazing person, like I said, and I love very much, she seemed, because I know this person, might sound like a judgment because I know this person, anyway, but she seemed to basically in this situation have not valued herself greatly in this one circumstance, and to really just put it in a nutshell, she was just blindsided by this other person basically. And again, I'm not judging her by not valuing herself. We all don't value ourselves a lot. I'm sure you could agree, and it takes a lot of practice to realize that. So the main point was, through not valuing herself, a situation arose, particularly in this whole situation, the whole world that we're experiencing in this pandemic and blah blah blah, which is another point why it's so key and why I'm passionate about becoming aware to navigate through these times as well. So anyway, but that's another story again. So just to go back, a situation arose where this person, that family member, did not value herself greatly, and and this was kind of contradictory because it was such a long-standing relationship between these two people, and it should have been based on honesty, value, love, integrity. And like I said, that family member of mine was just completely blindsided. So in short, things should have been discussed, things should have been brought to the table, but like I said, that family member of mine was completely blindsided, and I was actually, at one stage, I was pretty darn pissed off. I could have picked up the phone and just blasted, but I was like, well, we're all adults, we're all on a journey ourselves, so we've got to learn these lessons, and we're all creating our lives, like I mentioned. So, and at face value, this happens all the time, doesn't it? At face value, people argue, fight. You can debate that this person's right, that person's wrong, vice versa. One person walks away hurt, angry, or both of them walk away hurt, angry, one blaming the other. And there's nothing really learned from that. But through awareness, now we can actually go a little bit deeper, which I'm passionate about. Okay, so and without that, we go mindlessly through life. So I'll leave the story. I'm going to leave that story there and just talk a little bit abstractly, but you get the basic picture of what I'm actually talking about, which is about this this blog and not valuing yourself, and how it can actually just lead to situations that don't serve you really. So what's key is, and if we're not aware of this, if we're not aware of our conscious, subconscious patterns and how we see ourselves, how we create life, we can not see the deeper levels, and we can actually start ending up blaming the world, people out there, where we actually haven't realized that we've actually created a lot for ourselves. Again, that is not a judgment. So life is a mirror, and we treat ourselves, life is a mirror, and people treat us how we treat ourselves. And I'm not going to go down any esoteric, dark rabbit holes there, or scientifically backing that up. If what I say resonates with you, that is the key point, and then you can go further and research those things. The best way is to actually test it, experience it, and you'll know exactly what I mean. For those of you that do, you know exactly what I mean. For those of you that don't, go out, test these principles, these concepts, and no one can take that truth away from you. So, and let me just be clear. Let me spell this out very clearly. You might disagree with me, Again, you'll have to experience this. If you do not value or love yourself first, the world and everything in it will not do so either. And you'll wait for a long time for that to happen. So there's a lot of people that are in that situation. They are waiting for people, circumstances to change, to show value to themselves, to show how much that person loves them, but they haven't actually done it for themselves. So until that happens, you're going to be waiting a hell of a long time. It could be a lifetime. And that's when people get to that stage where they're old and miserable. And and very, very few people, again, this is not a judgment, because we're all on different journeys. It's just we got to become aware and see what's serving us or what's not serving us. Very, very few people will ultimately go out of their way to love and respect those who do not do it for themselves and will only serve themselves ultimately. You may disagree again, but test it out for yourself. If people do something contrary to what I'm saying, it's probably fear-based or manipulative. So if people are showing love or respect to you where you haven't done it for yourself, a lot of the time it's going to be from fear and manipulation anyway. And I'm not promoting judgment or any ill feeling towards people at all. On the contrary, it takes courage and love and true love and awareness to see the best in people. But this has to become first from seeing the best in yourself. Again, the world is a mirror to yourself. Okay, and I also will add loving yourself will give you unshakable strength, where you will be able to see things more clearly, because now you're not dictated by all sorts of agendas and things out there. You'll know your truth, you'll know the truth, you'll know your truth, and you'll stand steady and fast in that. So, and that goes hand in hand with dropping doubt, which I've chatted about in one or two of my other videos. Okay, and this is not an egoic valuing of oneself, but a pureness and a godliness, we could call it, of a form of value, which is love. Okay, so it's not some egoic that I'm better than everyone else. It's loving yourself and creation and everything that God, source, infinite creation is all about. Okay, so I'll just end off here. So go out into the world, be brave, forgive, and love yourself, and witness the results. Stop waiting on the world and others to make you feel good, whole, valued, or loved. Okay, so you're already whole, valued, and loved in the present moment. There's nothing outside of the present moment. So you can literally do that right now. Switch this video off and start practicing it right now. Start realizing that you're whole. I'm just repeating here. Start realizing that you are whole and perfectly imperfect, however you want to look at it, and already have everything in the now and the present moment. Okay, and this may sound easier said than done, and yes, for many it is, but it doesn't have to be hard either. Okay, and so in short, and just to end off here, the fact that you're reading this, so how do you start doing this? How do you start loving yourself? How do you start valuing yourself? Yeah, that can be a fairly hard journey, like I'm repeating myself a bit, and there are certain things that you can actually do that I will write on or vlog on, so check out future videos. But for now, the easiest thing to do is realize that you've arrived here for a reason. Your awareness is expanding, you are here for a reason, and that's a start to the onward journey. So it's a good start, so commend yourself. And value, love yourself, and the world will follow. So I hope that adds a lot of value. I hope it makes a lot of sense. Let me know your thoughts, comments, how you've experienced it, if you've experienced it, when you experience it, and like, subscribe. Check you on the next one. Thanks, guys.